Hello students, we read a lot about the constitution and how it becomes a making of laws is compulsory and how making of laws are done by our legislature. But one thing is in consideration that from where new laws will be coming in their mind. So today we are covering this one. Bindu Chaudhary is with you in your social science class, and today we are continuing our unit 2nd, Parliament and the making of laws, and in this one chapter 4th is running on understanding laws, and with this we are continuing part 2nd, how do new laws come about, because from many points of view it is considered. But what are that point? We will continue here in this part. First of all, how do new laws come about? First situation is here, the parliament has an important role in making laws. So, who is making laws? Our parliament, our members of the parliament has an important role in making laws. First point is clear. Next is, there are many ways through which this takes place, and it is often different groups in society that raise the need for a particular law. See the situation, जब हम बात करते हैं कि पार्लियामेंट मेंबर्स के दिमाग में कहाँ से आता है कि हमें नए लॉज बनाने हैं. फॉर दैट कंडीशन व्हाट हैपेंड स्टूडेंट्स, देयर आर मैनी वेज फॉर दिस वन. फर्स्ट वन इज द different groups in societies that raise the need for a particular law. But what is the platform for that one? We will consider here. An important role of parliament is to be sensitive to the problems faced by the people. It means all the problems faced by the people, and what is the scenario behind making laws is one of the step behind new laws. Okay. So let us read the following story to understand how issues of domestic violence. See the situation in this story. Domestic violence was brought up to the attention of parliament, and the process adopted for this issue to become law. So here is the story, and we will pay attention on this story, and our parliament also took initiative for this consideration. Domestic violence generally refers to the injury or harm or threat of injury or harm caused by an adult male, usually the husband, against his wife. So we are considering about the situation of females here. Okay, when we are considering about the situation of females may be injured, harm or threat, or maybe it depends on the adult male who abused them. An adult male, maybe husband or maybe another gents person against his wife and against his family members. Injury may be caused by physically beating up the woman or by emotionally abusing her. Here injury may be caused by two ways. First way is what? फर्स्ट वे इज फिजिकली बीटन, जब किसी को मारपीट करके उन्हें इंजर्ड किया जाए. नेक्स्ट सिचुएशन इज व्हाट? नेक्स्ट सिचुएशन इज इमोशनली अब्यूजिंग हर. मेंटल प्रेशर देके उन्हें इमोशनली इतना अब्यूज कर दिया जाए कि वो अपने आप को बहुत ही ज़्यादा डिप्रेस्ड फील करने लग जाए. सो अब्यूज ऑफ द वुमेन कैन आल्सो इंक्लूड verbal, sexual and economic abuse. When we are considering about the abuse of women, then three ways are there. First one is what? Verbal abuse, second one is sexual abuse, and third one is economic abuse. Maybe from any three types women threaten. Okay. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. It means this law totally introduced in 2005, and it also depends on what? It also depends on the scenario from the many platforms which we will discuss. So Domestic Violence Act 2005 extends the understanding of the term domestic. First one, the term domestic is there to include all women who live or have lived together in a shared household with the male member who is perpetrating the violence. So here is what is the definition, what we understand about the term domestic. Domestic means the family where one or two, more than two persons lived together, as well as gents members and other family members are also there in that one, and especially when the male member always perpetrating for the violence. So here is the situation, and with this situation we will deal with this act. और जब हम कहते हैं कि एक ही परिवार में पति पत्नी के अलावा भी ऐसे समूह जो एक ही ग्रुप में, एक ही फैमिली में रह रहे हैं और उनमें जो मेल मेंबर है वह अत्याचार कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए यह एक्ट लाया गया था, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट 2005. Often women who face violence or are abused are seen as victims. अब देखिए यहाँ पे who are victims, especially women who face violence or abused by any media, any reason and any way. Okay, but women struggle in several different ways to survive these situations. So what are those situations? We will discuss, and important thing what we will discuss here, that women struggle in several different ways. You all know about your family also, that from the early morning to till late night, what's going on in your family? Your female members of the family are working from the early morning to late night, and after all these things, husband or any other male member always abuse them, tease them, threaten them. So this is the wrong way. Therefore it is more accurate to refer to them as survivors rather than as victims. So here is the condition, that these treated them as survivors, not as victims. Here is a slogan, here see, इक्वल रिलेशनशिप्स आर वायलेंस फ्री. जब हम बराबर की बात करते हैं तो बराबर की बात में वायलेंस फ्री बात होती है, बराबरी के रिश्ते हिंसा से मुक्ति. तो यह जो स्लोगन है, यह जो कोटेशन है, यह बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाती है रिलेटेड टू दिस एक्ट 2005. When we are taking example here, as the above example shows, the role of citizens is crucial in helping Parliament frame different concerns that people might have into laws. So here is the situation, that all the citizens is crucial in helping Parliament. Who is helping Parliament, students? People, citizens of India helping Parliament framing different concerns that people might have into laws. अब आपको समझ में आ गया होगा बच्चों कि जो लोग हैं उन्हीं के द्वारा अलग अलग तरह से ये है बातें पार्लियामेंट तक पहुंचाई जाती है और उसी को लॉज में कन्वर्ट करने की कोशिश की जाती है. From establishing the need for a new law to its being passed at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a crucial element. Again we know that Parliament have 3 to 4 stages, and in that one what is the important role here? The important role is that at every process the voice of the citizen always is a crucial element. एक जो आम नागरिक की आवाज़ है वह पार्लियामेंट के हर स्तर तक पहुंचनी बहुत ही ज़रूरी हो जाती है, और वही इस बात का सबूत होती है कि नए लॉ क्यों बनाए जाएं और उनमें क्या ऐसा रखा जाए ताकि इन फ्यूचर कोई भी रिलेटेड टू दैट लॉ अब्यूज़ ना हो. दिस वॉइस कैन बी हर्ड थ्रू TV रिपोर्ट. सो from where the concept of new laws coming in the minds of the Parliament? See, first of all, heard through TV reports, then newspaper editorials also concerned with the situation, radio broadcasts also there, local meetings are also held time to time, all of which help in making the work that Parliament does more accessible and transparent to the people. So the concept from where the concept of new laws making comes in the minds of the Parliament, it is clear in all of you that with the help of TV reports, with the help of the newspaper editorials, column and radio broadcast, local meetings, etc., all the concepts comes in the minds of the Parliament, and many times court also gives decision that this comes into the law, and Parliament make consideration to that point also. When we are considering about some unpopular laws, unpopular it means that are controversial and unpopular, not popular in many ways. So here we will consider that one also. Let us now look at the situations where the Parliament passes laws that turn out to बी वेरी अनपॉपुलर, इतने पॉपुलर है ही नहीं पर वह अपने पार्लियामेंट के द्वारा लॉ बना दिए गए हैं। तो हम यहाँ पे इस टॉपिक में इस चीज़ को कंसिडर करेंगे। Sometimes a law can be constitutionally valid and hence legal, but it can continue to be unpopular and unacceptable to people because they have many choices, because they feel that the intention behind it is unfair and harmful. See the situation that unpopular laws are there, and these unpopular laws are totally unacceptable. It's okay, they are laws but totally unpopular and unacceptable because of the feelings of the people, because of their sentiments, because their intention is what? That these laws are totally unfair and harmful for the society people. So here is the concept of unpopular laws here, and we will consider here more about this one. Hence, people might criticize this law, hold public meetings against it, write about it in newspapers, report to टीवी चैनल्स एटसेट्रा। अब लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, पब्लिक क्या कर रही है बच्चों, यहाँ पे जो भी अनपॉपुलर लॉज हैं एंड इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द पीपल, इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द सिटीजन्स ऑफ इंडिया, दे आर हार्मफुल and they are not in favor of the public, unfair are there. So these peoples against from these laws and they arise their movements, their demands with the help of public meetings, with the help of the newspapers, and raise their demands to report to TV news channels also. Many medias are there, electronic medias are there to arise their demand of unpopular laws that are harmful, that are unfair for the public. See, in a democracy like ours, we have democratic country. So in a democratic country like ours, citizens can express their unwillingness to accept repressive laws framed by the parliament. तो हम जो democratic country में रहने वाले लोग हैं, we have totally power that we express our unwillingness. हमें अनिच्छा है, किसकी अनिच्छा है? To accept repressive laws, these types of laws which are totally unfair and not in a favor to the citizens. So we have total power, total feeling of expressions that we will put our demands in many ways to repress laws framed by the parliaments, and all unpopular laws are not in use this time, only some and some exceptions are there. When we are considering about this one, when a large number of people begin to feel that a wrong law has been passed, then there is pressure on the parliament to change this, and all these things happen with the help of the groups, with the help of the unity of the citizens. That's why we need unity, and with this unity, what happened, students? With this unity, parliaments also get pressure to change these laws, and sometimes they amend these laws also. For example, when we are considering about this one, various municipal laws on the use of space within municipal limits often make hawking and street vending illegal. This is the real situation, and this real situation put in the consideration of the municipal laws. And in that laws, what happened is, in that laws it is also mentioned that municipal limits often makes hawking and what, and street vending illegal. Is it illegal? आपकी गली में एक सब्जी बेचने वाले आए हैं, अपनी चीज़ों को बेचने के लिए दूसरे व्यक्ति आए हैं, that is illegal. But our parliament has passed these types of bill, and what happened to this one? No one will dispute the necessity for some rules to keep the public space open so that people can walk on the pavements easily. Here is one other thing, no one have dispute. किसी में भी विरोधाभास नहीं है. For what type of this one? For the pavements, for the people who walks on the pavements. So this one is also the starting of the unpopular laws, but some unpopular laws are there, and when we are considering about municipal laws, then this is important to be in our mind. However, one can also deny that hawkers and vendors provide essential services cheaply. See the condition, essential services cheaply and efficiently to the millions living in a large city. When we are considering about the large city, and in that large city it is not popular and possible that every market is there, every shops are there, and on that time what happened, students? These vendors, these hawkers provides easily everything, and the condition is what? They provide everything in a very cheaply way, in a very efficiently way. So is it possible that all these are under the unpopular laws by the municipal laws? No, not at all. And this is their means of livelihood also. जब हम कहते हैं कि एक हॉकर है, आपके यहाँ पे न्यूज़पेपर डाल के जा रहे हैं, आपके यहाँ पे वेंडर्स गलियों में आ रहे हैं, दे आर सेलिंग देयर items there, vegetables and other household items, and with that especially cheap items are there and efficiently you are approachable to these vendors, then how it's possible that all these things are against the rule? One important thing is what? This is their means of livelihood. So livelihood is fundamental right. So hence, if the law favors one group and disregards the other, it will be controversial and lead to conflict. अब यहाँ पे हमने अनपॉपुलर लॉ की बात की, नेक्स्ट वी आर कंसिडरिंग अबाउट द कंट्रोवर्शियल लॉ. सो हियर इज द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ कंट्रोवर्शियल लॉ, बिकॉज these hawkers and these vendors have also the right of livelihood, but in our laws all these things are against, unfair and not in a proper way. So these are uncontroversial and lead to in a moment of conflict to everyone. People who think that the law is not fair can approach the court to decide on the issue. So some conditions are there, maybe from the mutual understanding they solve their problems, and sometimes it is not possible to consider as mutual understanding, then people approach to whom? People approach to court to decide on the issues, on the matters in among them. The court has the power to modify or cancel laws. Who had the power, students? See, the court has the power to modify or cancel laws if it finds that they don't adhere to the constitution. So when there is a conflict between the laws and controversy between the laws, on that condition court has full power to modify that law or to cancel that law, and with that one they don't adhere to the constitution. Here is this concept in about unpopular and uncontroversial law is clear in your mind. When we are considering about this one, Do you remember the photo essay on the women's movement in the class 7th book? Yes, we are correlating the books chapters of previous classes also in this one to be in an easy way to understand all the concepts in your mind. So, when you easily remember the photo as a competition, the photos there showed the different ways in which citizens can protest, campaign and show their solidarity, and in this way they had the different way of showing their own expressions. The following pictures point to other ways in which people protest unjust laws. कई ऐसे unjust laws हैं that are not in favor of the citizens, so people or the citizens are against this. See, list the 3 forms of protest that you see in the above photo. This one is first photo and this one is second. These are the polytechnic students and these demands their rights and these have some issues, and for that one they were going on to be in a march and they said that arrest us government polytechnic students, because they had their own demands and this is the way to protest themselves. Third one is again in a very publicly they are demanding their own way of their demands. So, we need to remember that our role as citizens does not end with electing our representatives. अब आपको ये चीज़ बिल्कुल क्लियर हो गई होगी कि आपने इलेक्शन में भाग लिया, आपने वोटिंग किया और वोटिंग के बाद में आपने अपना रिप्रेजेंटेटिव चुन लिया है and your role is finished for 5 years. No, not at all, your role is totally not finished for 5 years. What is the reason behind it? We had studied many things in this chapter about the unfair laws and about the laws which are unpopular, about the laws which are controversial. So, all the citizens have to remember their role for this one. Rather it is than that we begin to use newspapers and the media to carefully chart the work that is being done by our MPs and criticize their actions when we feel it is required. Students, when you are reading newspaper, you know that some पाठकों के विचार करके एक न्यूज़पेपर में आता है and in that one different citizens give their own thoughts, their own expressions, maybe for any reason, maybe for any cause, maybe for relating to laws or relating to the concerning laws also. So, here is the situation that not only all these things being done by our MPs, sometimes it is criticized their actions also by the citizens of India when we feel required, and this one is the way we will express on electronic media also with the help of Facebook, with the help of Insta and with the help of other platforms also, and express our views against the laws and which are unpopular and controversial laws. Thus, what we should bear in mind is, when we are concluding this part, it is important that whatever it should be here in our mind is that it is the extent, involvement and enthusiasm of the people that help Parliament perform its representative functions properly. The concept is clear in your mind about the role of the Parliament. With the help of the people, Parliament perform its representative functions properly, and it is the important role of the citizens to be in active mode, to be aware for their own laws, for their own beneficial laws and whatever may be going on in the society, and if it is harmful for the society, then they raise their demands with the help of newspapers, with the help of TVs, with the help of any electronic media. Students, we will consider this chapter in our next part also, so stay with us. Have a nice day.